Adventure Saturdays you live for here in the city by the bay. The sun shining down on the Golden Gate. And what a matchup we've got today. Number 2 Gonzaga taking on the San Francisco Dons as we take a look at our top 10 teams in the country. The Bulldogs right there looking up at Baylor. 22-1 on the season. This is what WCC Hoops at its finest is all about. He's the coach, the legend, Dan Belwamity. I'm Kate Scott. And Dan, you've been a part of games like this, right? It doesn't get any better. It's a sellout here on the Hilltop.
Look, it's a great opportunity for San Francisco against the number 2 team in the country. And what can you say about the Bulldogs? They deserve everything they have. They're an unbelievable program. It's going to be a great day.
And it was a great day Thursday for Filip Petrushev, their sophomore out of Serbia, down on Thursday night. They're going to need more of the same from him if they want to be successful here today.
Well, here's the deal about Gonzaga. You never know who's going to be the leading scorer. I mean, Petrushev was unbelievable on Thursday night. 14 of 18 from the field. So he's a guy you really have to contend with. But the deal is, Kate, the Zags have a lot more than him. So this is why they're ranked number 2 in the nation.
Very good point. Now, when it comes to the San Francisco Dons, it is all about their senior big man. They're going to need a performance for the ages tonight from him, Jimbo Lull.
Well, Lull is a force inside. I mean, you take a look at Lull, what can he do? He's a guy that's excellent with his back to the basket, and he needs to come up big in this one because he needs to occupy Petrushev inside and rebound the ball. So I think we've got a great atmosphere. It's going to be a tremendous day. Going to be exciting.
38 years, Dan, since the Dons knocked off a number 2 team in the country. Does that streak end today? Let's find out together.
Sharks fan.
WCC basketball is brought to you by University Credit Union, inviting West Coast Conference alumni and fans to bake with your brain and open an account today. Visit us at ucu.org. Don Francisco's Coffee, high quality, great tasting coffee, backed by 150 years of coffee roasting expertise. By Shamrock Office Solutions, delivering Ricoh digital copier and IT solutions to the Bay Area for over 19 years. And by Reveal Suits, the official business apparel partner of the West Coast Conference, where passion meets fashion. Visit www.revealsuits.com. Goodness, an absolutely spectacular Saturday here as we transition from January into February. The sun is shining down on the Hilltop. Let's take a look at today's starting lineups, brought to you by Numerica Credit Union. Pay bills, deposit checks, and access your accounts 24/7 with mobile banking and Numerica Credit Union Plus. Show your Bulldog pride with your Go-Zags debit card only at Numerica. Well, the big note here, Dan, is that Killian Tilly, who rolled his ankle in the first half at Santa Clara on Thursday night, not in the starting lineup. So Drew Timme stepping into the starting 5 for the Dogs.
Yeah, and of course they lose Tilly, which is huge, but Timmy's an outstanding player.
The starting 5 for the USF Dons, coached up by first-year head coach, his 4th overall, the former St. Mary's Gale, and it truly is the hashtag golden era beginning here, Dan, as Todd Golden led these Dons to a big win over BYU here on the Hilltop last week. He told us just a couple of minutes ago that felt like could be a program changer, right? You know, in your first year as a head coach, a win like that can get you going.
Yeah, it's a huge win, but yeah, Todd's looking forward to the opportunity this afternoon. He's going to do an unbelievably great job here at San Francisco. What can you say about Mark Few, what he has achieved? 20 straight NCAA tournament appearance, 13-time West Coast Conference Coach of the Year. And I am so proud of what Mark has done for Gonzaga and the West Coast Conference. It's been absolutely sensational. All the respect to him and the program.
Well, let's take a look at today's keys to the game, brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino, Dan.
Well, you look at Gonzaga, and certainly without Tilly, they're going to need Petrushev to come up big. They're going to need some inside play, no question. And the Dons, if they're going to challenge today, their guards will have to come up big. Certainly a guy like Bouye, Midland on the outside. Ratino has got to hit some open shots. And by the way, can Shabazz come in and score the way he has in previous games?
That could be a difference maker. The clock never winds down in Northern Quest with 24/7 gaming, great restaurants and lounges, movie theaters, luxury rooms, and more. Find the details at northernquest.com. All right, let's take a look at our key matchup, which is presented by Nike.
Well, you look at the matchup, and I think, you know, without Tilly, Kispert's a guy that usually comes up there. I think Kispert will take the challenge today and be the man for Gonzaga. And for San Francisco, can Bouye and Minlin continue their outstanding, stellar play? Those two individuals, Bouye and Minlin, are two that have to not only score huge today, but defend and not turn the ball over and make all the big plays if the Dons are going to stay with Gonzaga.
A couple of the WCC Players of the Week here in the month of January. Minlin got the award the 13th of January. Corey Kispert on the 20th. And there's Jamari Bouye, the junior out of Seaside, coming off a career-high 23 points here on the Hilltop in that 83-82 win over BYU last Saturday. So let's play some ball. Number 2, Gonzaga, unranked USF. A couple of the top teams in the WCC, and what a start for Filip Petrusev. A chance at a three-point play.
Well, and this is vintage Gonzaga. What do? They go high to low. So right away, you're going to feature Petrusev, who is really tough to handle inside and does a beautiful job of positioning. Just great execution on the first sequence.
Just like that. 14 seconds into our ball game, Petrusev and the Zags have a 3-0 lead. One of the defensive matchups that Todd Golden spoke with us before the game wasn't planning on having Lull on Filip to start with because of the chance of foul trouble. Here's Lull, senior we talked about in the open.
I think the other thing, Kate, that's got to happen this afternoon if San Francisco has any shot, they've got to get the crowd into the game. No question.
Well, they had 2 good looks that time.
You bet. And those are shots. I know it's early. Those are shots you got to put home if you're the Dons.
Here's Drew Timme, freshman out of Richardson, Texas, getting the start today for the injured Killian Tilly, and he puts it up and in.
Kate, it's 5-0. It's 5-0.
You're pretty good at math. Has anybody ever told you that?
And the deal is, you know that they don't have Tilly, right? And Tilly's, he's tremendous.
But if Josh Coonan, if their big man from Australia can hit triples like that, just his 6th of the season. Now it's 5-3 now.
I was going to say no Tilly, but this guy Timme is I am so high on Timme, it's unbelievable. And I know they dropped down a little bit, but Tilly is just a fantastic freshman. He's one of those 5-star recruits they got out of Texas who a real feather in the cap for the Zags to get him. He's going to have a brilliant career.
Well, you're the only one who's high on him. We talked to Mark Few before today's game. He said a lot of people have been giving him a hard time about not playing Drew Moore. So USF unable to take advantage of a Gonzaga turnover. So another empty offensive possession for the Dons. And as you mentioned, I mean, every team that plays one of the top teams in the country knows this. Once those start to build up, games can get away from a team in a hurry. So Dons cannot let that happen. Coonan guarding Petrusev, using the athleticism. The sophomore from Serbia.
Now, if you're guarding Petrusev, you got to force him left. I mean, you can't let him put it on the deck and just make a layup.
4th in the conference in points per game. That'll remain Dons basketball. 2nd in the conference in rebounds. 3rd in blocks. I mean, Petrusev really does everything.
Well, if you talk about statistics with Gonzaga, I mean, you can go on for an hour. I mean, they lead,
I won't, don't worry.
Yeah, right, but they lead the nation in scoring, so, they do so many things right. It's unbelievable. See, they're going to get a foul prior to.
And Gonzaga wanting a kicked ball. Instead, it will be a foul on Drew Timme. Well, what a night it was in Santa Clara for Filip Petrusev.
Yeah, at 14 of 18, 9 and 3. But, as he said at the top of the show, Kate, you never know where Gonzaga is going to do some damage. I mean, they got 6 guys in double figures. Nice
Great move by Charles Minlin that time. The redshirt junior from Concord, North Carolina. At 14 against the Zags last season in Spokane. A Bulldogs win. They've won 16 in a row in this series overall. That's going to be the second quick one on Josh Coonan.
Yeah, he's coming out in a hurry, so they isolate again. It's obvious that Mark Few in this game feels Petrusev is the guy. So if you've got a much smaller player on you, they're going to try to isolate him, get him the ball, and see if he can do some damage.
Here's Ryan Woolridge, the grad transfer out of North Texas.
Yeah, you can't switch any of those screens and get a small guy on Patricia. Good steal. Now you got to do something positive here.
Here's Jordan Rottino trying to go end-to-end. Great move! Reverse from Rottino. And we've got a tie ball game in front of a sellout crowd here at the Sobrato Center at War Memorial Gymnasium. Timmy trying to back down low. Good defense that time by the Dons. Tommy Yurkatan has checked in for Josh Coonan. He's number 34 in whites. Same move from Midland. Zags red at that time. Jimbo Lowe will shoot the triple. He's got 8 to his name on the season. Midland into traffic.
Here's the deal. San Francisco has an advantage with their quickness and their ability to get to the rack. So they have to utilize that. They have some outstanding speed and first-step quickness in the backcourt. There's another steal.
Here comes Bouye. Rottino to his right. And Bouye trying to take it, and he gets blocked by Timmy. We go the other way. Corey Kispert blocked by Lowe. Honey, what a start we've got here in San Francisco, huh? Midland for 3. Couldn't have asked for a better start if you're Todd Golden and USF on a 9-0 run.
All right, this is a time right here where you want to feature Petrushchev. You need a score.
Woolridge gets it to Petrushchev. Bouye got a hand on it, but got a little bit of Phillips' arm as well. So Petrushchev will be shooting when we come back. Charles Midland and the Dons off to a hot start here on the Hilltop.
This is for $3.99.
Thanks to Zeph. Dons on top 12-7 right now, 5 minutes into our first half. And let's take a look, because we already had our Don Francisco's coffee moment of the game. How about the back-to-back blocks, Dan?
Yeah, and you saw right there, Timmy with the block, coming right back. Not only did Lowe block it, but he did a really good job of securing the ball and allowing the Dons to get in transition. So it's been a high-level game. Gonzaga got off to a nice start, but you got to give San Francisco credit. They answered right back. And I thought Midland, Bouye, those were the two guys, you know, that have been the go-to players. Petrushchev is somebody you have to deal with, certainly. And coming off that big game at Santa Clara, he's taking up right where he left off.
So those back-to-back blocks were our moment of the game, brought to you by Don Francisco's Coffee. High-quality, great-tasting coffee backed by 150 years of coffee roasting expertise. As Petrushchev drains the first. Remember the Wooden mid-season watch list coming off that career high 31-9 performance Thursday night down at the Levy Center. Splits the free throws though. Midland comes away with it.
Both these teams, Kate, they're both like man-to-man teams. They're going to come out and get you. The Dons like to run a lot of high screen and rolls. So does Gonzaga. Try to get switches high to low. Now let's see what Lowe can do here. He always turns to his, well, that's not too bad right there. You got to make it, though.
Great move, gets his own rebound, and he's fouled. But you're right, not often that you're going to get second chance opportunities against this Gonzaga team.
Personal foul, Gonzaga, number 2, Drew Timme.
So that's
his first second team foul.
Number 1 on Drew Timme. Second team foul on the Zags in this first half as the senior from Manhattan Beach steps to the line.
Well, you look at Jimbo Lowe, and he has really developed from where he was as a freshman to where he is today. As a freshman, I mean, he could, you know, he just couldn't get the job done in his early years, but he worked at it to his credit. The coaching staff here, Kyle Smith, when he was here, did an outstanding job. And so Todd Golden making him a better player. He was really into surfing, obviously from Manhattan Beach. Now you see him on a surfboard. Now he's got to, but
that's got to be.
He said no problem.
I'm gonna guess it's a longboard, just going out there.
Yeah, get along. And the other thing I like, he's a pretty good shooter. You saw the rotation. Dons go three-quarter court, try to slow Gonzaga down a little bit.
So Khalil Shabazz, the redshirt sophomore out of Seattle, grew up watching the Zags play as a star at Rainier Beach. And the fans here are not happy about Lowe getting called for that one. They're arguing that Petrusev kind of went into him a little bit there.
Well, Lowell's holding. Well, he did go into him a little bit. But I like what Petrusev is doing. Put it on the official to make the call. Ooh, another big one.
Into Lowell again. Good defense by Lowell. Shabazz comes away with it. And the flashy shoes. What a game he had last Saturday here against BYU. 10 for 10 from the floor, 6 for 6 from downtown. A career-high 32. Ratino from way downtown. Look out! Ratino held scoreless in Thursday's 25-point win over the Toreros down in San Diego. He's got 5 early here. Woolridge, the bounce pass to Petrusev, and another three-point opportunity. Beat Lowell that time.
Well, this is what Gonzaga does, and they do a beautiful job of screening and rolling and controlling the ball from the point, making good passes. And if you're Todd Golden, here's the thing you did not want to happen.
Exactly.
You don't want your bigs getting in foul trouble because Gonzaga can wear you down.
Almost wanted him to let that one go as Petrusev leaves the free throw short.
So now with Lowell with 2 fouls, next time down, I think you go right to Petrusev. Can he make that one? You bet.
Oh, yes, he does.
You bet he can.
Back-to-back threes.
He can.
And Ratino and this crowd are fired up. It is a sellout on the hilltop as they try to knock off a number 2 team in the country for the first time since December 29th of 1981. That was when the then 6th-ranked Dons upset number 2 Wichita State back at the Rainbow Classic, and a 17-5 run after falling behind 5-zip early then.
Well, all the things had to go right for San Francisco to start the game. The only thing that didn't go right, their bigs got in foul trouble. So you got Lowell with 2, Kunin with 2. But we thought Ratino would have to make 3. Midland would have to score. And the Dons, they're on an uptick. You know, they've been playing pretty good basketball over the last month or so. They've won 5 of 6. But Jordan Ratino, as you said, went scoreless in the last game. But now he's going to be looking for his shot. Here's the deal, okay? Gonzaga's going to adjust on Ratino. They're going to come up on him. So now you got to put it on the ground, go toward the rim, see if you can draw a foul or 2.
Ratino already with 8 points here in the first half. Just 15 in his last 4 games combined. So he can no doubt be a difference maker for USF here today. There's Corey Kispert, quiet so far. It has been all about Petrusev trying to get the USF bigs into foul trouble. Nicely done that time by Tavi Yurkatam.
Well, one thing you've noticed so far, it's been 1 and out for the Bulldogs. So the Dons have done a pretty good job of defensive rebounding the ball.
And these are 2 of the top.
He was feeling it. I knew he was going to look for that one.
That one got tipped.
A little bit.
Ratino does not airball. And Bouye and Midland combining on the swat. You wouldn't know it from his 6'2" stature, but Jamari Bouye, team high 18 blocks. Coming into this one, make it 9.
Well, you watch Bouye. I mean, he can get up. Does a good job there of help. No foul. So Kunin
in
back
the conference in blocks, Jamari Bouye.
leading the conference in blocks. And what is he, 6'8"? Oh,
Probably in his mind, he's leading the conference in blocks.
Oh, in his mind. Thank you.
But as you were saying, Dan.
Well, I think Kunin back in the game. My recollection, he's got 2 fouls in his back.
Here's Shabazz. Yurkatam not known for scoring. He's out there, play defense, rebound the basketball. Midland is known for scoring. Yurkatam loses the handle. Kispert's looking for his first bucket. This is Admon Gilder, the grad transfer out of Texas A&M. Back to Tilly. Nicely done that time. Off the glass for number 2.
Tilly becomes the focal point inside.
Timmy, pardon me.
Timmy, pardon me. Timmy becomes the focal point inside with Petrusev out of the game. So they're going to look for him and play off him.
Kunin drained a 3 earlier in this first half. Midland tries one of his own, in and out. Gilder leading the break to Woolridge. And again, good defense from USF. Shabazz.
Here he goes. Oh, that was an air ball. Shabazz was put him with 10 for 10.
Not expecting that one.
So looking for it.
The world from here.
Today's game is brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. The clock never winds down at Northern Quest with 24/7 gaming, great restaurants and lounges, movie theaters, luxury rooms, and more. Details at northernquest.com. Well, the Dons started fast, have now been held scoreless over the last 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And the Zags inching their way ever closer to Todd Golden's squad.
Well, Todd's got to be concerned a little bit about foul trouble. Obviously, he's happy. He's up 8 early in the game. And the difference really has been three-point shooting. I mean, San Francisco has made 4 threes, and the Zags haven't even attempted a 3 as yet. So, you're 12-0 from three-point range is, bodes well for San Francisco. So now Gonzaga with the timeout. Usually it's going to go Timmy inside, unless it's stolen here by Shabazz.
Khalil Shabazz, the Seattle native, pushes the lead back to 10. He was absolutely sensational last Saturday here against the BYU Cougars. A program-altering win, what Todd Golden said it could end up being. And we're going the other way. Tommy Yurkatam, a big part of that win over BYU with the defense he played on Yoli Childs. He's off to a great start again here today.
This is what Tavi Yurkatam brings to the table. Don't forget, he was hurt earlier in the year. He missed 9 games. But he's a young man that is a very good defensive player, understands the game, doesn't look to score a lot, but he does all the little things that make your team better. He's always passing the ball. He's alert. And that was just a heads-up defensive play. Those are the little things that help you win games. And I've always been impressed with this game.
Junior out of Estonia. We talked with his head coach Todd Golden before today's game about that 21-0 second half run that proved the difference offensively, led by Khalil Shabazz and Jamari Bouye. Todd said, yeah, but you guys, the defense that Tavi was playing on Yoli Childs, allowing us to come up with stops on the defensive end and then go on that run. That was different. They beat the Cougars by 1 point. He said Tavi was my player of the game.
I mean, actually, in this game here, USF has a lot of fouls to take inside. I mean, you got Lull, you've got Kunin, you've got Yurkatam. So you got 15 fouls to take against the bigs of Gonzaga. And Todd Golden said before the game, we're going to try to utilize them all. If anybody gets in foul trouble, we're just going to try to do the best we can to contain them around the rim.
They've already given away 4 of them, Lull and the freshman Josh Kunin with 2 apiece. Jordan Rattino making 10 for the senior Jordan Rattino. Again, had gone quiet in his last 4 games, just 15 combined. And a nice move that time by Admon Gilder. The grad transfer from Dallas, Texas.
Very solid backcourt with Gonzaga. People kind of say, well, their backcourt's not great. I think it is. I think it's really good.
It may not be their focus, but that doesn't mean it's not great.
But they're awfully good.
Midland, tough shot that time. And the rebound falls to Joel Ayagi. The Frenchman trying to take it all the way, and there will be a reach-in foul. Redshirt sophomore from Bordeaux, spent his summer with the French national team at the FIBA U19 World Cup, where he was named to the All-Star 5 after dropping 33 points in France's bronze medal win over Lithuania.
And the other thing about Ayagi when he first came to Gonzaga, he redshirted because he felt he wasn't ready. And Gonzaga, certainly they had Perkins and a very good backcourt, and he said he learned a lot. And now the coaching staff has confidence, and he feels now he's ready to play, and he's had a big year.
Woolridge, no. Yurkatam with it. Khalil Shabazz. Hey, don't see it often, but the mid-range works.
Yeah, he's a blur. I mean, Shabazz.
It's a good way. It's a good way to describe him.
And if he gets it going, he's really hard to handle. Yurkatam again. So they get a foul.
And the crowd here not happy about that one.
watch
that
this
one was
when
all
they
ball.
go inside. This is exactly what the Zags do. They go high to low. Why did they go high to low, Kate? Let me answer my own question. They go high to low because there's not any help from the backside. So you've got a perfect angle. If you front, we're going over the top. If you don't front, we're just going to put the ball down low and let you go one-on-one with an all-star player. So watching this game, how many times Gonzaga will start at the top of the key and post up their big guy and initiate the ball.
9 down for Petrusev. Reimu Raitanen, senior from Helsinki, Finland, number 11 in white, has checked in for the Dons. Shabazz off the high screen. 10-point USF lead with 10 minutes to play in our first half here in San Francisco. This was a good one here on the Hilltop last year. The Dons had the lead with 6 minutes to go before a 17-2 run by the Zags proved the difference. What were you saying about that high-low, Dan?
Well, again, I don't think anybody in the country runs that high to low better than Gonzaga. You know, and that, you know, Timmy and Petrusev, they do a beautiful job of getting the ball to the point, going over the top, and it's just excellent team play and rotation. Yeah, when you've got bigs that can pass like that. Shabazz in trouble. Knew he was surrounded by trees. Now the Zags looking to go on a little bit of a run. Here it is again. They do it again. And Tomby, smart that time to just kind of pull back, not get his second foul as Petrusev puts it up and in. So the combination of Timmy and Petrusev been deadly these last few minutes. Writes it in, blocked by Timmy. Gets his own ball, goes to the left, and off glass. A nice recovery by Reimu Raitanen.
Yeah, I thought a year ago when they lost Hachimura, Brandon Clark, Zach Norvell, Josh Perkins, Crandall. They lost so many guys.
Yes, for their starting five.
Right, so
Gisbert's the only one back.
Everybody said, well, they can't be as good this year. That's what everybody said. Well, you're wrong. You know, I really felt, quite frankly, I felt they would be the #1 seed going into the NCAA tournament. Now,
they still have a very high chance of that.
Yeah, and they put Baylor ahead of them nationally, and I know Baylor's good, but Gonzaga hasn't done anything to lose that #1 ranking in my view. Now, they're being challenged today. I mean, they're down 8. This is not a normal situation.
And another charge drawn by their big man, Tavi Jurkatan. Foul on Ryan Woolrich, his first. 8 minutes to go in our first half in San Francisco, and what's going to be a busy day of hope. Got a big one later tonight. St. Mary's in Provo taking on the Cougars. It's a 7 o'clock tip-off on ESPN2, and that foul is going to be called on Joel Ayayi, his first. So we will step away as San Francisco has stepped into this one, up 8 in the first. This game is brought to you by Liquid IV. Liquid IV is an electrolyte drink mix that can provide 2 to 3 times the hydration of water alone. Translation, feel better, faster. Order now at liquidiv.com and optimize your hydration. Well, the Dons have an 8-point lead right now over the #2 team in the country here in a sold-out to a War Memorial Gymnasium. WCC Network is your home for all West Coast Conference action. It's featuring over 65 live WCC men's basketball games this year alone. So just visit the WCC Network from your browser, smartphone, tablet, connect to TV, and watch live out-of-market games for free. It's that easy. The WCC Network, all the action anytime, anywhere. As I mentioned, Pepperdine, LMU at 3 o'clock today. Santa Clara up at Portland at 5. The Gales and the Cougs doing battle at 7. And then the Toreros and the Tigers of Pacific at 7 o'clock tonight as well. So a busy day. Great start from Jordan Rattino. 10 points for the senior, as his team looks to knock off the #2 team in the country.
Of course, in the early going, you look at Gonzaga, 7 turnovers. You know, the Dons have only made 2, and no 3-point attempts yet by the Bulldogs.
And they had a quiet night from distance Thursday in Santa Clara, despite the win. Just 3 for 16 from beyond the arc.
Oh, we saw St. Mary's on Thursday where they have 17 threes.
Shot clock winding down on Coonan. Yes, that was a much different story.
A little different.
So shot clock violation that time. Good awareness by Coonan to get that up and towards the hoop, but no dice. So now Woolridge and the Zags. Find some rhythm. That was really the only rhythm they seem to have here offensively, was those couple of back-to-back high-low plays from Timmy and Petrushev.
Well, Petrushev's a guy that may kick it out once he gets it inside.
Timmy. Lowell's got to be careful. He and Kunin playing with 2 fouls. Bouye too high for Kunin. As you mentioned, not many turnovers by the Dons.
Well, but those are the turnovers the last couple of times down where, you know, they're unforced, really. I mean, good job by Gonzaga to switch it at the top, but you've got to control the tempo and make solid plays. I mean, you've got an 8-point lead, and, you know, Gonzaga's going to come right back on you.
Gilder. Great bounce pass to Petrushev. And that one last touch to Don, so it will be Gonzaga basketball, 20 to shoot under the hoop.
Now be careful here, because on the out of bounds, they love to lob on the out of bounds, they do the Zags. You've got to be really mentally alert, because they don't do it there, but occasionally they will just lob to Petrushev inside.
We've got a 6'11", 235-pounder, why not? Yagi all alone on the far side. Timmy didn't see him. Double teams, and another block by Bouye. Latino and the Dons, they love to push, we know that. Midland guarded by Gilder.
Now Gilder did a great job defensively. That's really a hard shot. I mean, tremendous half-court defense that time for Gonzaga. They're going to get a foul.
That is a foul that you cannot take if you're Jimbo Lowell. You just got to let that one go, because that is number 3 on the 7-footer here in our first half. So Lowell heads to the bench. Tavi Yurkatam back in. That was the one thing that Todd Golden told us before this game, Dan. Cannot have my big guys with 3 fouls before we get into the second half.
Well, remember this about Petrushev. I mean, he's obviously an outstanding all-around player, but not a great free throw shooter. He's in the mid-60s. Got that one home.
But that's one of the big knocks on this team this year, if you can have a knock on a 22-1 squad, is the fact that they're leading the NCAA, scoring almost 90 points a game, but shooting just 67% from the line.
Really important for San Francisco to block out on all these free throws. Good job that time by Petrushev to get that one in. Make them both. And San Francisco, the Dons have been on 28 for a while.
They have. Petrushev leading all scorers now with 14 points. Bouye has been quiet.
No, Yurkatam, he was wide open inside.
Bouye back to Rotino, looking for his 3rd triple. Too strong, but the rebound comes to Midland. Takes it out and back into traffic. Charles Midland with a big man layup.
Well, he's just an accomplished player, but I didn't think he had a chance to make that one.
And the Zags come right back. Gilder with the answer.
Yeah, watch Midland, the way he attacks. Now, that was under duress. Had a couple of doubles. And here's the thing with Gonzaga. After you score, so you make a field goal, you cannot relax, because Gonzaga's going to take the ball out of bounds and come right back at you.
Mon Gilder started his collegiate career at Texas A&M, completes the 3-point play. Transferred up to Spokane, missed first couple of games last year with a knee injury, and the rest of the year with a blood clot. So he didn't have to sit out last year, but injuries caused him to do so. Oh, Rotino on the back cut. 12 and counting now for Jordan Rotino. Great look that time from Bouye.
That was a planned play, and it was just well executed.
Gilder for 3. The blur that is Shabazz. Thankfully, he wore those great-looking shoes today, so we can...
Yeah, he does have good...
At least see him, at least when he's blurry.
Yeah, he's multicolored. There's no question about that.
4:30 to play in our first half. Here on the hilltop. Dan Belwamini and Kate Scott with you. Bouye, oh, high off glass. Jamari Bouye, the junior from Seaside.
Well, we know the Dons lost Frankie Ferrari last year, who was a tremendous all-league player. Bouye has really stepped in to fill his shoes, though. There's no question about it. And this is a really talented backcourt for San Francisco.
As Coach Todd Golden told us, Dan, the shoe was a little bit big at the beginning of the season because Jamari was asked to do so much more than he had the past couple of years, but I'd say he settled in nicely. Great ball movement by Gonzaga. Just can't get the finish, and Petruccia will get called for the foul underneath. Well, it is a sellout here on the hilltop, and the Dons giving their fans a whole lot to cheer about. They're up 9 with 3:54 to go in our first half. Extra credit courtesy of University Credit Union. Visit ucu.org to bank with your brain. And a couple of great USF student athletes, not just great on the court. Dan Charles Minlin was a member of the All-Academic First Team here in the WCC last year, and Jordan Rottino, a first-teamer All-Academic squad the last 2 years. And I'd say he's playing pretty well on the hardwood today, too.
Well, he sure did. Now watch Bouye as he dribbles over. Stop it here. He's going to dribble. This man right here loses vision. Rottino's going to go back door. Watch the execution. You lose a little vision. Ayayi was overplaying him. Rottino without the ball. Bouye sets him up with that dribble drive right to the wing. And that's a planned play by Todd Golden. Really well executed. Well, what a half for Jordan Rottino. He has been huge.
12 points so far for Rottino. 5 of 8 from the floor. 2 of 4 from distance after not scoring in 25 minutes Thursday. And just 5 points last Saturday here in that win over BYU. Need all your role players to step up when you're playing the #2 team in the country, Dan. Can't just be one star. Everybody's got to get in on the action.
Third foul on Kunin.
Unless they call it on Ayayi.
Oh, are they going to get Ayayi? I thought for a minute he called it on Kunin.
And Mark Few and Joel can't believe it.
No, Ayayi doesn't agree with him at all.
And I'd say as a case, that was a bang-bang play here right in front of us. So let's take another look. Trying to fight through the screen.
I don't know.
I don't know of anybody.
I'm kind of with you on that one. Either that or a no call, just let him go. But.
Yeah. So 2 on Ayayi is the freshman from Victoria, Australia, who is a darn good free throw shooter. 25 for 28 now from the stripe on the season, shooting almost 90%.
Yeah, and you know, you look at Kunin, and he's got great upside. He's got long arms. He's really effective. And you're right. He's got a beautiful rotation on the ball. He really has not developed yet the ability to put it on the deck and create shots for himself. He has to improve in that area. But you look at Kunin, he's only a freshman. You know, 6'8", 6'9".
And he showed us earlier this year when he went off for 13 and 12 in that win over Santa Clara here.
Yeah, possibly his best game of the year.
That he can lead the way.
Now it might be Kunin.
Looks like that is the case. And Todd Golden is beside himself, as that is #3 now on Kunin. Jimbo Lowell already sitting the remainder of this first half with his 3rd foul. And the 34-year-old head coach. Not sure about that one. Dan?
You know what?
Your thoughts?
You said 34 years old. I remember Todd playing at St. Mary's.
He makes me feel old. It's not
come
often.
On, Kate, you're like.
It's not often.
Come on, you're like 19 for heaven's sake.
I've got a few years on.
No, I don't think so.
Ayayi drains the first, so that'll do it.
Speaking of
Kunin in the first half.
I got to say this. Speaking of looking great, I mean, you look at Mark Few. I don't know what his wife Darcy's feeding him, but I kind of think Mark Few looks like he's like 35. He's not 35. He's been at Gonzaga like
maybe winning or sharing 18 straight regular season WCC titles to do that to you, right?
And you know, in my view, he's on Mount Rushmore. He's on with all the great coaches that ever coached. What he's done has been absolutely spectacular.
Shabazz, the spot up 3. Off back Geyer. Here come the Zags. Woolridge, coast to coast. The grad transfer from North Texas. Trying to spark his team here at the end of this first half.
Gonzaga needs a little run here at the end of the half.
When they could, because again, Tavi Yurkatam, the only big really in here. Raymond Raitanen is more of a stretch 3 than a 4 for these Dons. There's Raymond. He's known for his offense. defensive prowess still needs some work.
But you know what? How about Tommy Yurkatam? Now, he was all alone at the foul line. Could he have shot? Yes. Did he turn and look? He said, I'm thinking about it. Now, right here, he could have shot it, but he knew I've got a tremendous three-point shooter wide open and right in, so he gets him the ball and he finishes. That's what I'm saying about Yurkatam. He's really unselfish. He does all the little things, but that play right there kind of typifies what he's all about.
Was the U18 Estonia National Player of the Year back in 2016. Reps for his home country. And the U18 and U20 FIBA championships the past few years. I mean, and now stepping up big for Todd Golden and the Dons.
And Kate, there's a little, there's some streaks on the line here this afternoon, quite frankly.
There's a number of streaks.
I mean, we know it's too early to really get into it, but Gonzaga has won 35 consecutive conference games.
That just blows me away. Woolridge, back-to-back lay-ins.
Now those are regular season conference wins because they did lose in the finals of the tournament last year at St. Mary's. But conference wins, they won 35 in a row.
Shabazz drawing contacts. He'll go to the line. And the number that's maybe even more impressive to me, Dan, 36 straight WCC road wins. I mean, you were talking about the greatness of Mark Few belonging on the Mount Rushmore of
no, he does. No question.
Basketball coaches. And case in point, these are all WCC records and the longest streaks in the NCAA.
In all fairness, this afternoon, to Mark Few and Gonzaga, you don't have Killian Tilly. And I think Tilly's one of the outstanding players in the country at about 6'9½", and he hurt his ankle, which was a shame. The poor guy has gone through injuries. We know that the whole family, great volleyball family, with his dad who coaches in Europe, and his mom, who's, he's got a wonderful family. He's a tremendous player. And Mark Few says he's really, in many ways, the glue to our team. And to lose him is super big, super huge. So,
no doubt about it.
So, that's a big factor this afternoon.
First game with Adam, sprained his ankle as Gilder gets called for the travel. In the first half of Thursday's win over Santa Clara, that is when Killian Tilly sprained his ankle. Hoping to have him back next week. Don't forget, stick around for the University Credit Union halftime show. We'll look at today's other WCC matchups coming up. Looking forward to interviewing WCC Commissioner Gloria Navarez, South Gloria, before the game today. And we'll look back at our first half, bring you highlights and stats as well.
Well, the conference has actually elevated itself over the last couple of years. And I think this year, you take a look at, I know that Gloria's thinking, and she will say this, that this conference is now deserving of multiple teams in the NCAA tournament. Well, that's a tough shot there. That's a quick one. But still, you got a good guy shooting at it.
Well, right now there's three teams, Dan. In everybody's bracketology is getting in. The Zags, St. Mary's, and BYU. And who knows?
Well,
when it comes to these Dons.
Yeah, obviously a quad one win if the Dons can win today.
Gilder splitting the defense. Pretty finish by Admon Gilder. So the lead down to 7. Final minute of our first half here in San Francisco. Zags have won 14 in a row overall, 16 straight in this series. Midland.
That's not a good foul. See, that's a foul on
and he was so smart because he
laid
off him when they went up for the rebound.
Yeah, can't do it.
And then reached in. So now Lull has 3, Kunin has 3. That's why those two are on the bench. And now Yurkatam has 2.
And a double bonus now.
Final 45 seconds of this first half. Zags will be shooting. Trushev leading all scores with 14. Leaves the first one short.
I think it's a win for the Zags. I mean, they're down 7. If they can close this to like 4 or 5 at halftime, Mark Few would feel pretty good due to the fact he's got San Francisco in foul trouble. They have not shot the 3 ball at all in the first half. Kispert has not had the kind of game that you hope for with Tilly out. So maybe they come back the second half and really get it rolling. You see the 14 for Petrushchev, 4 of 7 coming off 14 of 18 against Santa Clara. So he's had a couple of pretty good back-to-back games.
Yeah, a lot of his points have come at the line so far. 6 of 9 from the stripe. Looking for number 7. And he's got it. So the lead down to 6. Will the Dons extend it, or will the Zags eat into it even more? Shabazz, a quick triple. Reitinen skying for the rebound.
Yeah, big rebound by Reitinen. I thought that was really quick. Now have a little patience. Run a little bit of clock.
Midland guarded by Timmy. Nice move that time by Charles Midland.
Gonzaga foul, number 2, Drew Timmy.
So that's number 2 on Timmy.
19 foul.
Corey Kispert will check back in. Final 25 seconds here.
Charles Midland in the line for San Francisco.
Midland, not the best free throw shooter. There's 63% from the stripe. But coming off game high 21-point performance Thursday down in San Diego as he gets the roll.
See, you know you were a great shooter.
Home rims?
You were a great shooter when you played, right? So
amazing. That's why I'm doing this now.
You know, I know, but you know if you get that kind of a roll, you know that's a shooter's roll.
That's
Come on, I mean,
keep shooting.
You're going to be rewarded if you could shoot the ball. It seems to radar its way through the basket. That time he couldn't get it in.
Not that time, but as we saw from that graphic, 21 and 10, along with 4 blocks in the Dons' 25-point Thursday win over San Diego.
Big possession here for Gonzaga. They need to score. And Petrusev has been the man. So high to low normally is what they do.
Woolridge keeping it himself into traffic. Foul's going to be called on Jordan Routino, his first, with 5.8 to play in our first half. Lead 7 right now for San Francisco. In a game very similar to last year's. Here at the Sobrado Center or Memorial Gymnasium. Very close one. Dons had the lead with 6 minutes to go. Woolridge gets the bounce.
That was quite a game last year. I mean, it was a big. Now the Zags definitely extended and won the game by a good margin, but it wasn't really indicative of the game. Ferrari had a big one here, so it was a good game a year ago, and it is today.
This is the second. 5 seconds to go.
Go to the basket. Got to go right to it.
Jamari Bouye.
Wow. How about it? How do you like it? How do you like it, San Francisco? Wow.
And the fans letting their Dons hear it. It is a sellout on the hilltop. And I'd say their team stepped up to the task in the first half.
Well, they did, and they got the right guy with the ball. I thought Bouye might take it right to the rim. But he makes a difficult shot, and it counted. It looked like it was off his hands when the clock expired. So just a huge shot right at the end. That was big. Wow.
So now everybody will take a quick breath here at War Memorial Gymnasium. What a first half from their USF Dons. Up 8 right now on the number 2 team in the country, who's playing without their starting big man, Killian Tilly, out with that sprained ankle from Thursday's win at Santa Clara. And all the stars around. Jennifer Azzi, Michael Franzi. It is a packed house. And we've got a great one so far. Halftime after this. WCC Basketball is brought to you by University Credit Union, inviting West Coast Conference alumni and fans to bake with your brain and open an account today. Visit us at ucu.org. By Nike, proud partner of the West Coast Conference. By Geico, saving you money on car insurance. And by Ticketsmarter.com, the official resale ticket marketplace of the WCC. Welcome back to San Francisco as we take a look at our first half stats. And the one in yellow was the stat that really stood out to both of us, Dan.
Well, it does. And, I mean, here's the big stat right there. I mean, 0 for 1 from three-point range. And certainly look at that, no second chance points. So, I mean, that is really big for Gonzaga. And the Dons executed well. And the other thing for the Zags, they need Kispert to come up big in the second half. He didn't score in the first half.
They were led by that man, Filip Petrusev. Game high 15 points on 4 of 7 from the floor, but really 7 of 10 from the line. Corey Kispert still looking for his first points. Took just one shot, picked up 2 fouls in the first half. Jamari Bouye playing with 2 fouls, but he ended that first half on a high note. Fade away on the baseline to give the Dons an 8-point lead as we kick off the second half. San Francisco looking for a second straight massive Saturday win here on the Hilltop. Knocked out BYU 83-82 last Saturday. 8-1 on Saturday on the season. So it's been a good day to them so far. Tan Belwamini and Kate Scott with you. Appreciate everybody who's tuning in. Bertino looking for three-pointer number 3. You got a hand on that one. Jimbo Lowe, Josh Coonan, the big men for San Francisco, both playing with 3 fouls. Got to be careful there, and Coonan draws the offensive foul on Petrushev.
No basket, of course. And this is the 3rd foul on Petrushev. And don't forget, Coonan has 3 fouls. So he does a nice job. As long as he's outside that restricted area, that's an easy call. Is that 3 on Petrushev or 2? 2 fouls on Petrushev.
Teams first of this second half. Bertino led the way for Dons. The Dons, that is, in the first half with 12 points. Charles Midland right behind him with 10. Midland to Coonan. Shot clock at 5. Coonan going with what would have been, I think, a WCC play of the week if he would have made that one fall.
Yeah, really not very good possessions to start the second half by USF. I mean, they cannot get conservative. Yes, you've got a lead, but you got to keep playing and let's look for your shot. There's no reason to run the clock all the way down. I'm sure it's not planned, but that's what happened the first couple of times they've had the ball.
If you're just joining us, starting big man for Gonzaga, Killian Tilly, not available today after spraining his ankle Thursday at Santa Clara. He's listed as day-to-day. So Drew Timme got the start in his absence, and he finishes there.
A very smart play by Tilly. The man guarding him, Lowell's got 3 fouls. Don't settle for an outside shot because Lowell's not guarding you. He took it right at him, and Lowell really didn't defend it.
Here's Jimbo. A skip pass to Bouye.
You got numbers. You got numbers here.
Ayayi into Ratino. That'll be a foul on the floor. Number 2 on Jordan Ratino. Team's first in the second half. Todd Golden's Dons 16-7 on the season, 5-3 here in the WCC, just below the top tier of teams, including his alma mater Santa Clara and Gonzaga. This has been a fun year in the conference as a whole, because everybody really has beaten everybody.
That's right. And the conference is much more balanced than it was.
Inland, the pull-up, no good, as you mentioned. Damon Stoudemire, the Pacific Tigers, knocking off St. Mary's in that wild 4-overtime game out in Stockton. Ayayi. 3rd chance, 4th chance, Lowell finally clears.
I was going to say Gonzaga does a great job of jumping all those high ball screens. That was
swatted by Timme.
And then it might be Lowe with a foul. So these are the fouls that occur, and it all results from the Timme block. And then Lowe don't need to do that. Just let him get the rebound. So 4th foul on Lowe, so he's out for probably quite a while.
So 4 on the big senior from Manhattan Beach. Team's 2nd team foul in this second half. Petrushev doesn't shoot the 3 often. He will, though, go into the lane, uses athleticism just like that. Great footwork from Philip Petrushev.
Yeah, great start by Gonzaga in the second half. And this is what they did the same thing at Portland. Portland had a nice lead at halftime, and Gonzaga came out with about a 22-3 run on him. Oh, tough shot. How do you like it? What a tough shot by Bouye.
Bouye over the outstretched arms of Petrushev.
Looks like Gonzaga's really intent on taking the ball inside and drawing fouls and just taking right to the basket and force San Francisco to guard them. They're not settling for any distance shot. They're going to get a foul. It's a good ball. Let's see where they get here.
I think they might be calling that on Joel Ayayi. I'm going to need to see this again. Because it looked like from our angle, just the feet got tangled up.
So here's Ayahi. Well, actually, Ayahi tripped over his, I mean, there was no contact.
Oof. So that is going to be number 3 on Joel Ayayi. Okay.
Now, I didn't think it was on Ayayi. I thought it was on Timmy.
Okay, so it's an illegal screen on Drew Timme. So that will be number 3 on Drew Timme. This will be another foul on Philip Petrushchev, his 3rd.
Now Mark Few's got to be a little bit careful that you don't want to come all the way out. Good job by the official just to kind of control Mark and say, okay, get back in the coach's box.
Understandably getting a little fired up these last few minutes on a few questionable calls against the Bulldogs. Minutes into our second half, both teams still looking to find some rhythm on the offensive ends. Midland. Shabazz had it. Ayayi takes it away. And he'll draw the foul on Charles Midland. Well, it's heated here on the Hilltop. Second half continues after this. Today's game is brought to you by Arby's, your delicious neighborhood meat cracker. Stop by Arby's today. Arby's, we have the meats. Great tagline as far as taglines are concerned. San Francisco has the lead right now on the number 2 team in the country, 45-39 with 15:29 to go in our second half. And as a proud sponsor of the WCC, University Credit Union invites you to enter for a chance to win UCU's ultimate WCC fan sweepstakes for a trip for 2 to Vegas for this year's men's and women's WCC basketball tournaments. Just visit ucu.org/ultimate today. Official sweepstakes rules apply. Welcome back inside of War Memorial. Joel Ayayi shooting 2 after being fouled by Charles Midland before we went to break. And just like that, the lead down to 5, Dan.
It's going to be interesting to me to see if Todd Golden spends a couple of times down the floor and try to take it to Petrushchev. Obviously, he's got, if he picks up his 4th foul, then all of a sudden the game really tilts towards the Dons because they're going to protect him right now. So Mark Few takes Petrushchev out. And this may be an opportunity for San Francisco to take it right to the rim. And don't forget, Timme has 3 fouls. And without Killian Tilly, it's not a deep front court Gonzaga team.
So Gonzaga goes small. With Kispert and Timme, they're bigs. Admon Gilder is checked in, guarding Kunin. Kunin not known for putting it on the floor. Shot clock at 4. Bouye gets Woolridge to bite.
It's a great job by Bouye, wasn't it? I mean, that shot clock was all down inside of 3. And Jamari had a real nice sense of the situation. And he's become an all-around accomplished player. And if you're Todd Golden, I mean, you feel really good when Bouye or Midland has the ball late in the clock.
Last year averaged just 6 points because, as you mentioned, Frankie Ferrari was the guy, and Jamari was kind of just backing him up as Raymond Reitman checks back in. This year, asked to be one of the guys, and he has been up to the task. A career-high 23 on 10 of 15 from the floor. In the win over the Cougars last week here. He's got 7 here today. Again, still waiting for our first 3-pointer from the Zags. Have attempt just 1 all day.
Well, he only made 3 against Santa Clara in their win on Thursday.
Gilder got under the hoop that time, able to get his own rebounds and finish.
I'd say this about Gonzaga. They might be a little short-handed, but they got a lot of heart and courage because I really like the way they've come out and defended in the second half. San Francisco has not had many good shots at all in the second half.
Shot right there from Martino on the baseline, though, able to grab his own rebound. So a fresh shot clock, which is ticking down to 5. Great dish that time by Shabazz to Tavi Yurkatam.
If there's a quicker guy in the conference than Shabazz, I want to see him. I mean, he is like, he's got that crossover that puts you in cement. I mean, he's like unbelievable.
Well, one of the fun things leading into this game was that Corey Kispert, number 24 there, had a great conversation with Andy Katz, Katz Chats, that the WCC is doing all season. And Corey said, I know all about Khalil Shabazz. We grew up together. Because Corey's from Edmonds, Washington, played his high school ball at Kings, won a state title with them. And Shabazz, who's playing for Rainier Beach, he led his high school to 2 state titles. So those guys know all about each other.
Well, you get free throw attempts against the number 2 team in the country, you've got to make them. And again, Yurkatam, not a good free throw shooter. I mean, the whole year he hasn't shot very well. That's good and counts. Yes, it does. You bet it does.
Drew Timme, the freshman from Richardson, Texas, has to step up and step in today for the injured Killian Tilly. He's doing that.
I've been so high on Timme the whole year. I just think he's got all the tools. You know, he does get in foul trouble. That's the one thing you got to be careful of if you're Timme. And a great run by Gonzaga with, by the way, Petrushev out of the game. So they made a nice little run to tie it.
And I'd say there's a few Zag fans here today as well, as Timme raises his arms as he runs back on defense for them to get into this ball game. All scored 46, and Tommy Yurkatam with a little baby hook.
Well, I like the idea because Timme does have 3 fouls. You know, you're in that situation. If you could make the little jump hook, that may be available every time down.
Yurkatam playing with 3 fouls as well. Oh, what a pass. Timme just couldn't corral it. Great idea that time, though, from Joel Ayayi.
Well, now San Francisco with the Yurkatam coming out of the game. Now they go really small.
Wow. So Reimu Raitanen, the 6'9" senior from Helsinki, Finland, the tallest man on the floor right now for USF. Jamari Bouye taking advantage of the empty lane.
Now what they do, and Todd Golden said we're going to spread the floor, especially when we go small and force Gonzaga to guard us on the outside.
Gilder into Bouye, and Gilder is going to get called for the offensive foul. Tried to force it a little bit that time.
It's actually good position, good defense.
So Petrushev back in.
Just can't keep him out too long. So, you know, Mark Few's kind of in a bind now. I mean, he's got to take Timme. Timme's got foul problems. Petrushev, you know, they're both with 3, so he's going to try to alternate the post.
16 fouls on the Zags. One away from going line 1.
Oh, I thought he might. Good steal.
Woolridge.
That's just a big-time play by Woolridge. Wow. You know, I want to tell you, that was not an easy play that Woolridge just made in the open court.
But he made it. Lead back to 2. 12:25 to play. Shabazz. Guarded by Gilder. As Gilder goes flying into the scorer's table here. And Mark Few calls a timeout.
Just tremendous defense by Gonzaga. That ball's on the ground. I mean, they're flying after it. So the Zags have come out the second half and really excelled. Look at this little move right here, but the defense has really brought Gonzaga back into this game.
What's in the Reveal Suit Spotlight today? We figured with the Super Bowl tomorrow, we had to highlight the 1951 USF Dons football team, a squad that included 8 players who went on to the NFL. The team's publicist was future NFL Commissioner Pete Rozelle, but that's not what was memorable about this team. They went 9-0 in the regular season. They were invited to play in the Orange Bowl, but only if they left their 2 African-American players behind, Ollie Matson and Burl Toller, and the team refused. And that is why the motto of the 1951 Dons football team is undefeated, untied, and uninvited. And as I'm sure everybody watching knows, Burl Toller went on to become the first African-American referee in NFL history, did it for 25 years.
Well, Burl got hurt. He would have been a tremendous NFL player, but, you know, that team had so many great players, that 51 team.
Ed Brown and Gino Marchetti and all those guys. I mean, they were, you know, Bob St. Clair. They had so many terrific players, and they didn't go to the Orange Bowl because they wouldn't go unless Toller and Mattson, who was an All-American, unbelievable. But, you know, they wouldn't allow the African-American players to. Good for them. You know, they were way before their times, but good for them for not going. You bet.
Toller name has lived on.
People forget what a tremendous football program San Francisco had way back in the day. So did Santa Clara, so did St. Mary's. You know, they were all football powers.
Yep, football was big here in the Bay.
You bet.
Did you know that Andy Reid is going to be coaching the Chiefs tomorrow? His first job as Kispert.
Here
Let's
we
fly
go.
and hits.
Here we go.
And Gonzaga is back on top for the first time.
Oh, did they
Since
need
3
that?
minutes into our first half.
First made 3 for Gonzaga at the right time. Good job by Kispert. Kispert's got to be proactive. He's got to look for a shot.
We've got a foul on Woolrich.
Personal foul, Gonzaga.
So we will take a pause and come on back because Gonzaga has pulled ahead of the Dons here in San Francisco. To you by Numerica Credit Union. Pay bills, deposit checks, and access your accounts 24/7 with mobile banking at Numerica Credit Union. You can show your Bulldog pride with your Gonzaga's debit card only at Numerica. Well, the Bulldogs showing their pride because they're 4 for their last 4 from the floor, Dan, and USF just 3 for 11, and that's really been the difference so far in our second half.
Well, it has been the difference, but I really believe, you know, Gonzaga has really stepped up defensively and done a nice job. Now, fouls, you know, I mean, this is critical. Lone forward, Kunin, Yarkatan to 3, and then look at Gonzaga with Woolridge and Timmy and Petrushchev. So down the stretch, free throw shooting will be pivotal because both of these clubs, I believe, will have their opportunities to get to the foul line and solidify the game. So making throws down the stretch it may decide it.
Well, if it comes to that, USF is the better free throw shooting team. 4th in that category here in the WCC, 72% free throw shooting team. Gonzaga just 67% from the stripe.
Oh, he stole it. Did he steal it? Shabazz. Oh.
And then knocks it out. But are they going to call a foul? Yes, they are. That is number 3 on Joel Ayayi.
I got to tell you, this young guy, Shabazz, Khalil Shabazz, he is so fast. Now, he stole it from Ayayi, who's fast. So you got speed on speed. And you know when you're being guarded by somebody and you're thinking in your mind, oh, my gosh, I know he is so quick that if I make a wrong move, this guy's going to steal the ball. That's how it feels like when Shabazz is guarding you.
As we mentioned, was a star at Rainier Beach, led the Vikings to 2 state titles, named the Freshman of the Year in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference at Central Washington, redshirted, and now is looking to be a star here in San Francisco for a few years, potentially lead him to a massive upset. Their last win over a top 15 was over 15th ranked St. Mary's a couple of years ago in February here on the Hilltop. Haven't beaten a number 2 in 38 years. Kispert, the step back, and the kiss off the glass.
Yeah, great roll. Good job by Kispert. You got to look for it if you're Corey.
Had a very quiet first half. Midland could save that time.
Wow, how did Midland get to that ball? It was almost in our lap.
I was ready to catch it.
Yeah, Midland took it right away from us.
Midland, no. Kunin with a touch putback.
Boy, it's been a high-level game, hasn't it, this afternoon? I mean, if you like college basketball, you got to love this game.
That's what we were talking about with the commish, right? Gloria at halftime. It is such, it's always been Gonzaga and St. Mary's, and BYU here and there. But if Todd Golden and USF can get back, if Damon Stoudemire can keep Pacific trending in the right direction, Lorenzo Romar down at Pepperdine, and Philip Petrushchev here in San Francisco.
This is the fear factor, Kate, and what you said just a minute ago is all true. If you press Gonzaga and you allow them to get in the open court, they're going to create mismatches and plays, and they're unselfish. So the Dons got to be a little bit careful if they press all the way. You got to get back.
19 now for Philip Petrushchev. Brighton in fouled.
Well, he was
Corey
fouled on.
Kispert. And I believe that's number 3 on Kispert. It is.
And Kispert knows it. That's a bad foul. You fly into a guy that had little chance, in my view, of making that shot because it was rushed.
So the 1-and-1 continues.
And Reitman's a pretty good free throw shooter.
84% free throw shooter, in fact. It's been a spark off the bench for Kyle Smith and now Todd Golden. Makes the second.
By the way, I know you mentioned Kyle Smith. Congratulations to Kyle with Washington State. He's doing a tremendous job.
What a first year he's having at Pullman.
You bet. He's doing a great job.
Martinez Arlauskas, number 5 in the Blue Blues in momentarily. And it's not going to matter because Reitinen knocks down all 3 free throws. So San Francisco again with a 3-point lead.
Kunin on Petrusia. Kunin in foul trouble.
3 fouls on each of those guys. And Reitinen's going to get called for the foul there. He's one of the few whose names we haven't called when it comes to foul trouble. That's just number 1 on Raymond. Being asked to do a lot today with the big men in foul trouble. Drew Timme playing with 3 fouls of his own. No Killian Tilly today for the Bulldogs. And Timme drawing the contact and throwing up the biceps.
Again, you know, tremendous half-court execution by Gonzaga. They love to post up. And here again, you look at Gilder, and he's looking all the way for Timme, and Timme delivers big time. So this has been the mindset for the Bulldogs. Attack the rim, get it low. Timme, who's not a great free throw shooter, gets that 3-point play.
And he now has 14. So it has been Timme and Petrusia. If somebody else couldn't get going for these Zags.
Well, and you know, it could be Kispert because he's made 2 threes in the second half.
6 points for Kispert on those 2 threes. Jimbo Lowe back in. The big man for San Francisco playing with 4 fouls. Just under 9:50 to go. Latino had 12 points to lead the Dons in the first half. He's yet to score since the break. Here's the senior taking it into the lane. It's almost like he knew that we were talking about it.
See, you know, we talked about it early. He made a couple of threes. I think Ratino has to do more and more of that. They guard him heavily on the outside. You've got to be able to take it to the rim. He's done it a couple of times this afternoon. So, you know, great job by Ratino to kind of balance his game out and force Gonzaga to guard him while he's taking it in. Here again, you're looking inside. Here's where you want to go. You want to go. The guy guarding him has foul trouble. Take it right at him. Go right at him.
Petrushak does. No foul called. And then there is a whistle. And that's going to be number 3 on Jordan Ratino.
Got everybody in foul trouble in this game.
My goodness.
Unbelievable.
Been a lot of whistles.
And you notice both these teams know zones. I mean, they stay man-to-man the whole game.
San Francisco's 7th team foul. Zags now in the 1-and-1 until we get to 10. Ayayi, the redshirt sophomore from Bordeaux, France.
It's going to be interesting, Kate, if the men go to quarters instead of halves. You know, go 10. And the reason going to quarters is, you know, you shoot free throws, what, on the 5th foul?
On the 5th, yep.
So it gets you away from getting the other team in a one-on-one or the double bonus with 10 minutes to go in the first half. So, you know, they may take a look at that in another year or two.
You get a few more opportunities as Bouye lets fly from 3, no good. The long rebound to Khalil Shabazz. But you get a few more opportunities at last-second shots, too, which is fun for the fans. And those of you tuning in. Low.
Take it right out.
Oh, he
stayed in
with 3. Low with the bucket. 63-61. San Francisco on top as we approach the 8-minute mark.
Wow, here you go. Here comes Gonzaga.
Pardon me. Gonzaga on top thanks to a 3 from Ayayi. make a three in the first half. They've got 3 now in our first 12 minutes of half number 2. Lowell asking for it again. Back-to-back buckets from the big man.
Well, both teams, high-level game. Just a big-time game.
We're brought to you by Delta Dental. A healthy smile is a powerful thing. Find the easiest way to take care of your smile at DeltaDentalWA.com with easy online tips and tools to keep you and your smile strong all season long. Brought to you by Delta Dental of Washington, proud supporters of healthy smiles and a lot of reasons to smile here on the Hilltop today.
Well, I think anybody here, I mean, there's the great Bill Cartwright. He's smiling. It's just an outstanding college basketball game with the Dons with a 1-point lead. I mean, this kind of looks like it's going to be a photo finish right to the end. Whoever has the ball last.
Well, Gonzaga's made.
So here's a great job by San Francisco. Watch what they do. Slow it down. They're going to go here to here to here. So they do a great job of surrounding, putting it inside. Look at Lowell, how he pins Petrusev. And again, half-court offense, dictating tempo and doing a good job of reversing the ball to get what you want. Great action by San Francisco. Good job by the Dons.
Well, that graphic right there about sums it up. 7 times, 5 lead changes. The Dons were up 12 early in our first half. But the Zags went into the locker room, figured things out. Their first half of basketball without Killian Tilly in a while. They go back to Drew Timme, who was looking for another 3-point play.
Yeah,
is that going to do it for Jimbo Lowe?
Yeah, that's 5 on Lowe.
And that's going to be a big loss, especially with what he was bringing on the offensive end the last few minutes.
That's his 5th personal foul.
So the big man, the senior from Manhattan Beach, done for the day.
He's had a good year for USF, no question about it. But this was he had to stay in this game, I believe, because he's someone you have to guard at the offensive end. So I know he's very disappointed, but he did all he could today against really a terrific front line in Timme and Petrusev.
And with those 2 free throws, Drew Timme has tied his career high of 16 points, which came against North Dakota back on November 12th.
To my recollection, I don't remember USF making a 3 in a long time. Maybe it's just me, but they got off to a decent start shooting the 3 ball, but they haven't made one.
You know how long it's been?
I don't.
It's been since the first half.
Yeah, I know that it's been Gonzaga. They're 3 of 4 now from 3-point range, but the Dons 5 of 21.
Shot clock at 3.
Well, that one's not going. You know that.
Did hit the rim. Minlin able to corral the offensive rebound. Leaves the putback short, and they'll say it was last touch by a Don. It's going to be a very physical, tense last 7 minutes here on the Hilltop. A lot of guys in foul trouble. Tavi Yurkatam with 3. Josh Coonan with 3. Jimbo Lowell has already fouled out for USF. And for the visitors, Petrusev with 3. Woolridge with 4. Ayayi with 3. Kispert with 3. And Drew Timme with 3, too.
So you know where the ball's going. It's no secret here. You know you want it high to low. There it is.
That's what they're doing. Timme under the hoop. And USF reignite that 3-point shooting. Oh, that's not the way to do it. It's Petrusev intercepts the pass.
It's been a defensive effort for Gonzaga in the second half. They've just geared it up and came out and played like champions so far in the second half. Defensively. Oh, look at this. Take it right at him.
And a late whistle. And Todd Golden is hot. That's going to be number 4 on Tavi.
I think Yurkatam has to hold position. He's allowing Petrusev to just see he can't hold. He's got a hole there, and he's getting forced back underneath the rim. Now you're in big trouble.
Just a 65% free throw shooter is Petrushev. So now Yurkatam with 4. And he will get a breather. Josh Kunin comes back in with those 3 fouls. And Khalil Shabazz asking to check in as well.
And number 0, Khalil Shabazz for Charles Goodman.
So Charles Midland will head to the bench for USF. Still a 1-point game. Missed them both.
I still think anybody that makes their free throws down the stretch is going to win this game. And Gonzaga's had a few chances here to extend their lead.
Right to Nick.
Oh, there's one.
First three-pointer of the second half for USF, and it's a big one. Just like that, the Hilltop is alive again. Kispert back to Ayayi. Good pump fake.
Wow. How do you like Joel Ayayi?
The answer.
Wow. Has he come up big in the second half?
12 now for Ayayi.
And what I love about it, he wants the ball. I mean, he's in rhythm.
Back and forth we go. Latino. That was a tough shot.
I think they're going to get a foul off the ball on Reitinen inside.
That's going to be number 3 on Ramu.
Number 11, Ramu Reitinen. Third personal, 10th team foul.
So that means Gonzaga shooting 2 from here on out.
Here's the foul. Well, it didn't look like there was some contact, but it didn't look like much off the ball.
Understandable that Ramu and his head coach Todd Golden frustrated.
Timmy has not had a great year from the line. I mean, if you want to get picky about his outstanding play, but he's sure shooting it for the foul line today.
And it's a new career high for the freshman Drew Timme. 18 points now, and he will take a seat.
Dons need a productive trip down the floor. And they just haven't had anything easy in the second half. Now, you got a mismatch inside right here. Here's your mismatch. If they can find it, well, unless you drive to the basket.
Unless you just clear out and let Jamari Bouye do his thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, this was the turning point here last year. San Francisco had the lead with 6 minutes to play. And then the Zags went on a 17-2 run.
Yeah, my recollection last year, I thought Perkins really had a big finish for Gonzaga last year.
Petrushev looking to have a big finish this year. No good. Kunin with it. Dons with a chance to retake the lead.
Here's your high screen and roll.
Writes it in.
He could shoot it. Didn't get that one in. He's got the green light if he's open. He's that good from the perimeter.
40 with a couple of triples made today. Left that one short. Woolridge playing with 4 fouls. Oh, great dish from Woolridge to Petrushev. The lead back to 3. 21 now for Filip Petrushev. And 31 in the win over Santa Clara on Thursday night. Bouye gets him off his feet. That's number 4 on Petrushev. So we'll be shooting when we come back. Zags with a 3-point lead with 3:46 to play. Now here in San Francisco, thanks to this, today's play, the game brought to you by Multicare Health System. Multicare's team of doctors, nurses, and specialists partner with you all season long. Kispert partnered with Ayayi, and that was the difference.
Yeah, and let's face it, Ayayi has played really an outstanding all-around game, and this was an answer to San Francisco's 3 just a minute ago. And Gonzaga, who didn't make the 3 in the first half, they made 4 into 4 for 5 from 3 for the second half. San Francisco is 6 of 24 from 3-point range. His big story, the defense and the foul trouble. Look at that foul trouble. Lull out. Yurkatam 4. Look at everybody with 3. And, of course, Woolridge 4. Petrushev, that's huge. Petrushev 4. Timme 3. So
He has been their guy so far,
Yeah, he
leading
really
all
has.
scores with 21 points. 7 of 13 from the floor. Joel Ayayi has come on in his second half. He's got 12. Corey Kispert, a quiet day. 6 points from him, but those 2 3-pointers in this second half. And Zags with a 3-point lead as they look to push their win streak to 15 straight. 22-1 on the season. Jamari Bouye and the Dons have won 5 of their last 6.
Yeah, coming down the stretch here. Both teams are going to get multiple opportunities at the charity stripe. You got to find a way to get them in. Cannot do that and win the game. It's tough. You get there, you got to make
free throw shooter.
You got to make your free throws.
So the lead's still 3 for Gonzaga. Yurkatan playing with 4 fouls. A big-time mismatch there, and Petrushev takes advantage.
I don't think there's any team in the country that recognizes mismatches as well as the Zags. I mean, you switch it, you get a small guy on Petrushev, they look for him right away, and he delivers.
23 now for Petrushev.
Need a productive trip here. The game could get away from USF with an empty here, and Gonzaga's been scoring every time down the floor.
Charles Midland had it touched away. They're going to say that was number 4 on Corey Kispert. Well, the Zags on the Road is brought to you by Alaska Airlines. Enjoy the most nonstops from the West Coast to the amazing places Alaska Airlines flies, connecting Spokane to over 100 destinations, including Hawaii and Mexico. Book now at alaskaair.com. And a lot of road games ahead for the Zags. A great Gonzaga following here on the Hilltop today. And as you mentioned earlier, 36 straight road victories for the Zags here in the WCC. I'd say their fans are a big part of that, as Midland takes care of business at the line.
Well, Gonzaga, Kate, they still have St. Mary's twice. And you know, big blow to the Gales. No Matthias Toss. Toss, a huge loss, but St. Mary's does lead the nation in 3-point field goal percentage.
And we got to see a whole lot of those the other night.
They're dangerous from outside.
17 3-pointers as they knocked off Portland on Thursday. That one coming up tonight. St. Mary's at BYU. 7 o'clock tip over on ESPN2. So take us inside the huddle as we take a look at the Dons' upcoming schedule.
Oh, they've got Pacific, and you know, they're playing good basketball, and the Dons have to go to Provo. Always a tough game. Santa Clara, the big rivalry. Then they got to go to Spokane again, which won't be easy. And, yeah, Pepperdine, a good team also. So, you know, the road doesn't get any easier for San Francisco. It's one game at a time. They have an opportunity this afternoon to beat the number 2 team in the country and a team that hasn't lost a conference game in a while. So now we're down almost inside of 3 minutes.
So what's Todd Golden telling his squad?
Well, what he's telling them is, you've got to do a better job of defending the interior, and we have to do a better job of executing at the offensive end. No bad fouls. I would say this, force the Zags to shoot it on the outside. Don't let Petrushev touch it inside.
Petrushev gets it at the top of the key, loses the handle. And they're going to say it was last touched by Petrushev. So good defense that time. Sophomore from Serbia doing everything for Gonzaga today. No Killian Tilly to help him out.
Petrushev just didn't, well, he wasn't a very good player a year ago, but when you had Hachimura and Brandon Clark and Norvell, it's hard to get a lot of PTs, but he did an excellent job as a freshman, but he's really come into his own this year. I think this is another opportunity for the Dons, and it's got to be Midland or Bouye. Midland's the guy if they can find it. Just couldn't get that one in.
And a nice job boxing out by Admon Gilder. It's always the little things at the end of ball games.
Okay, if you're Gonzaga, let's have some patience, run your offense. I would say this, you got to have Petrushev or Timmy rather, inside touch it. They couldn't do it.
Instead, a takeaway from Shabazz. Khalil Shabazz, end-to-end. Khalil Shabazz.
Shabazz is hurt at the other end.
Hard. Oh, came down on his tailbone.
Yeah, he was hurt as he hit the stanchion under the basket, fell hard, and hopefully he's going to be all right. But he took a nasty fall. Here again is just, I mean, he's just a wizard with the ball. Watch him take it all the way in against a very quick Yahi, and there he took a hard fall, fell down. And I thought a good no call. I mean, I don't think there was any foul on the play.
Just as you mentioned, such a high flyer and a quick mover that with that acrobatic layup wasn't able to get a hand down. And it looked like he landed on his tailbone. Well, this is good. USF trainer Nikki Graham with him. That Khalil is able to walk off under his own power. But as we've seen today, he is the spark of all sparks off the bench for San Francisco.
Yes, he is. It's a real loss, especially at the defensive end, because he's disruptive. He's the kind of player that can steal the ball. He's all over the floor. So again, the Dons are going to go three-quarter court press. You got to be careful here, because if a guy like Woolridge or Gilder, they get it in the open court, they can zoom right by you and take it all the way to the rim. Got to watch out here.
They break the press
which they did. Couldn't make it.
Tommy Yerkatan. And Drew Timme is going to get called for his fourth foul. There have been a whole lot of whistles today here, Dan.
Now, Yerkatan has not shot many free throws this year. And he's not a particularly good free throw shooter. He missed two a couple of minutes ago. Your Mark Few, this is the guy you want to the line.
2 for 8 from the stripe on the season.
2 for 8. Oh, there you are.
Make it 3 for 9.
Make it 3 for 9. You know what I noticed? Every time he shoots a free throw, he kind of fades back. That time he didn't fade back. Now, I always thought on free throws, you've got to kind of lean toward the rim a little bit. Oh, Shabazz is back. Wow.
And the crowd letting him hear it.
Unbelievable. He makes 2.
What's the opposite, Dan, of the broadcaster jinx? Maybe you should talk about how he's not a great free throw shooter the next time he steps to the line. As San Francisco retakes the lead under 2 minutes to play, the Dons on a 6-0 run. Haven't beaten a number 2 team in 38 years.
Oh, you got the lob. Well, they had the lob to Petrushchev.
Kispert with the shot clock winding down. Wow. Corey Kispert.
What a huge play by Corey Kispert. Under duress, in the clutch, shot clock winding down. That's, Coonan with the bump. Got to take away his right hand if you're Coonan and force him to go left.
10 points now for Corey Kispert. That is number 4 on Josh Coonan. Both teams in the double bonus or shooting from here on out. Charles Midland checks back in.
And, of course, Corey Kispert is a good free throw shooter. He's the guy you want to the line if you're Gonzaga late in the game.
No doubt about that, the 4th best free throw shooter in this WCC conference as he completes the three-point play.
It's been a big second half for Kispert, hasn't it? He was really quiet in the first half. To my recollection, I don't think he scored in the first half, but he's taken the challenge. He's come out. He's been a real difference maker for the Zags.
Listen to this crowd. A sellout here on the hilltop. And I'd say a number of Zags hopped on those Alaska Airlines flights and made the trek down here to the Bay. Just an absolutely awesome atmosphere.
Yeah,
we had one Thursday night over at St. Mary's.
Yeah, it really is a great atmosphere, and the crowd, anybody that has not enjoyed this game doesn't like basketball. I mean, this has been a magnificent all-around game, well represented by both schools, and it shows you really the strength of the league. Now, I have to reinforce again, Gonzaga playing without Killian Tilly, this is huge. This is a big, big loss. You've got like an All-American that you're not playing. But the fact is that the Dons have represented themselves well here. What can you say about Todd Golden? If you told Todd, by the way, there's 1:33 to go in the game and you're down 2, you probably might have, you said against a number 2 team.
Let's play.
Let's play.
Let's do it.
Let's see what happens. Here he goes again.
Here we go. Bouye.
Another steal.
Picked off by Gilder.
Great job. Good defense again by Gonzaga.
Zags with a 2-point lead. 1:15 to play.
That ball was tipped.
Now wait a minute.
Let's see. The official, the outside, they may challenge that. That ball was tipped.
Well, that's what all the Zags are saying.
Now, you're within the last couple of minutes. You could look. I thought it was tipped anyway. It sure looked like it.
Well, there's definitely 4 pairs of Don hands up there, but it's got to be the whole controversial, inconclusive, all of that stuff. I don't know. Definitely got a hand in the face, but it didn't look like there was a hand close to that basketball. What do you all think at home?
Let's see what they call. Maybe you're right. You know, it sure looked like it at first glance. I thought it looked like it was tipped, but when you looked at the replay,
Take one more look.
Let's see it again. Was it deflected? Well, he hit his arm. You know what happened is he hit his arm. So now, here's my thought. You do have a coach's challenge the whole game. So can you challenge there was a foul call there? You could challenge whether it was a foul or it wasn't a foul. It's one of the things you can't challenge.
They're saying no tip, so it will remain USF basketball, 1:13 to play. Mark Few and Gonzaga's 36 straight WCC road win stretch on the line here this afternoon. Don's looking for what would be a massive win.
That was blocked.
In year 1 of the Todd Golden era.
All right, now Gonzaga, slow it down. Take your time. Mark Few may want to utilize a timeout, but no, let him go, because Gilder's a very solid guy. So where's Petrushiev? High screen and roll, and let Petrushiev roll to the basket.
Petrushev's on the bench.
Yeah, Tilly. I'm sorry, Timmy, rather.
And with 9 to shoot, it will still be Gonzaga basketball. So Petrushiev on the bench.
Yeah, my bad.
Timmy's in. Tilly's on the bench, too, I know. Drew Timme playing with 4 fouls. And our officials appear to be reviewing this play as well. Ron Brokenbrough, Rick O'Neal, Tom Spitznagel, our officiating crew today.
An official review of the last play.
And why not? You got such a close game with one of the top teams in the country. 41.1 to play. Get it right. That's what we always say about replay, right? That's why we have it. So they're saying that Bouye was the last to touch it.
Take a good look at it. Was it deflected off of Gilder after? It didn't look like it.
Hard to see from that angle. Oh. I think Woolridge might have been the last one to touch it.
It's still hard for me to determine. Now, Gilder was also hit in the face on that last play. So let's see what the officials come up with here, right? Looks like Wright got into a mix. I don't see anything there.
We're looking for possession. Right now they're saying Bouye was the last to touch it. It should be Gonzaga basketball. But in some of those replays, look like Woolridge.
Well, replays are
Might have
great.
been the last to touch it.
Replays are great, but you got to make a decision pretty quick because everybody, you know, they want to see the last 41 seconds here. So take a look at it. Let's make the call and get back to live action. I just didn't see enough where the ball was going to be off.
And neither did
Gilder,
they.
right?
Pardon me, I said Woolridge. Gilder was the last Zag near it, but not enough to overturn it. Even though they showed it on the big screens here, and everyone in green and gold was sure that it was USF basketball.
Interesting coming down the stretch here, and they're going to run Timme at the post, not Petrushiev, and see if Kispert can make a play.
Shot clock winding down.
He does. Wise, but what a second half.
And the Edmonds-Washington native with another big bucket for the Bulldogs.
What a huge second half for Corey Kispert.
The lead now 4. Gotta have it this time if you're USF. And Martino swatted away by the freshman Timme. Bouye for 3. Bouye again. Coonan trying to get the rebound, and Timme does. And with 8.9 to play, That should just about do it. What a finish here in San Francisco. And
this is in the category of a heart of a champion, you know. You look at Drew Timme, the freshman out of Texas, and he's had such a marvelous all-around game. He's made his free throws. He's got 18 points. But certainly Gonzaga was tested. They were in jeopardy this afternoon of losing this game. The Dons had a nice lead at halftime. And I'd say the determining factor in the game was Gonzaga's ability to turn it up defensively. San Francisco just didn't get many open shots in the second half.
It's time to announce our player of the game, presented by A to Z Rental, and we're looking at him. Drew Timme, no job too big or too small for him. Or A to Z Rental with 8 convenient locations. We rent everything. Let A to Z Rental be your most valuable player. What a day. Asked to step into the starting lineup for Killian Tilly and Drew Timme. A career high here in San Francisco.
And you got to look quick three. That's got to go down, and then timeout.
And Todd Golden follows your lead.
Stranger things have happened.
Don't go anywhere. 4.6 to play here on the Hilltop. The lead down to 2.
It's a good job by Gonzaga to not foul, but Shabazz, as you recall, was 10 for 10 against BYU,
yes,
and this is the kind of thing he could do.
A perfect 6 for 6 from beyond the arc last Saturday. And that big win for the Dons over the Cougars.
All right, so here, in this situation, if you're the Dons, obviously you've got to extend full court and hope to get a steal. So let's say you could go pretty quick, and if you steal the ball, then, you know, good things can happen. But if you don't, it's incumbent upon you to foul right away. You've only got 4.6 seconds. If you're Gonzaga, you want the ball in Kispert's hands. Kispert is your best free throw shooter. Here's all the streaks on the line. Conference road, 36 in a row. Home, 35. Regular season, 35. Road, 35. So, road, rather, 15. So, a nice
It's been
job.
a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since this team lost.
The Todd Golden's team has been right there with him all afternoon. Down 2, no timeouts left. 4.6 to play. It's going to be Gonzaga basketball.
And if you're San Francisco, you got to be a little bit careful of Gonzaga going length of the court against you. You know, you might be so committed to overplaying. Well, Ratino's way back, so Ratino is defending.
And Gonzaga has 1 timeout.
1 timeout left.
Still to call. So if they get in trouble
Look for a steal. Go all the way out and see if you can steal it. Oh, they take another timeout. That's the timeout they have left.
So they're done with timeouts now, too. Both teams out of timeouts.
And the man with taking the ball out of bounds after a score could run the baseline. So it wasn't a turnover because he did move his feet, but you do have that ability to run the baseline. It's just really interesting to me that down the stretch, Petrusev really was not in the game. But remember, he's not a particularly good free throw shooter late in the game, and they had the lead.
And that has been maybe the one thing that you can knock Gonzaga on this year. Just a 67% team free throw shooter when it comes to that stat. So Filip Petrusev, just a 65% free throw shooter on the season. Understandable, you want to get all your good guys in at this point in the ball game.
So the same mindset for USF. Pressure all the way, hope to get a steal. But once it's inbounded, you just cannot have the luxury of waiting with obviously 4.6 seconds. You got to make the foul call right away. It's a double bonus both ways.
And free throws were the difference here last Saturday. Todd Golden and company made the choice to foul Yoli Childs, who missed the front end of his 1-and-1. Dons got the rebound and then hit 4 free throws to close that ball game out. Different story here today. Got to go for the steal.
Well, Ayayi's a pretty good free throw shooter, too, but you really want Kispert, if you can get him the ball, you got to get him right away.
So they got him 1 second off the clock, 3.6 to play. And Admon Gilder, the 75% free throw shooter, will step to the stripe.
We thought it would get down to the end, and we thought the team that made free throws late in the game could solidify the win. And
Gonzaga's got that opportunity right now. Gilder makes two. Obviously, they win. He misses one, and the Dons have a shot at it.
Makes the first.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing about Gonzaga. They've been in pressure games the whole year. Their whole program. They've been in super pressure games. They know how to make throws at the end. Well, great win by the Zags to come back the second half. They were in jeopardy today, no question about it. You can't foul here if you're Gonzaga. Just let them shoot it. Let him shoot it.
Shabazz does, and that will do it. So a great effort by the USF Dons, but Drew Timme and a Gonzaga team without starter Killian Tilly survive here on the Hilltop.
Yeah, that's the right word. They did survive. They were tested this afternoon, but Kate, it was an outstanding college basketball game. For the West Coast Conference, you see San Francisco. The Dons are a rising team. They're playing good basketball, and Gonzaga. What can you say about one of the premier programs in the country? They found a way to win.
That's why they've won so many in a row.
Congratulations to Mark Few. Great defensive job in the second half. That's what did it.
37 straight WCC road victories now for the Zags. 36 straight WCC wins overall. And as Dan mentioned earlier, it doesn't get any easier because they still have two home and away against St. Mary's. They have to take on San Francisco up in Spokane. They have to travel to Provo to take on the BYU Cougars on the 22nd of February. But for now, 23-1 on the season, and still a perfect 9-0 here in WCC conference play.
And Gonzaga heading, in my view, for a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament, which, by the way, I think this year the NCAA tournament is going to be up for grabs. I mean, I don't think there's a dominant team in college basketball, but this is one of the great teams, the Gonzaga Bulldogs. And they know they were tested. They came back and showed their mettle in this one, found a way to get it done, and found a way to win. I thought Reedy Kispert, Yahi, Gilder, their backcourt played great. Petrushev got a lot of weapons.
Well, that's going to do it for us here in San Francisco. For producer Dan Peterson, director Jeff Butler, statistician Jeremy Kahn, my partner Dan Belwamity, all of us here at NBCSN Bay Area, I'm Kate Scott saying thanks so much for tuning in. Coming up next, we're going to send you to Pepperdine, Loyola as the great day of WCC Hoop continues. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon and the evening. So long from San Francisco. Zags win again.